Paul, see this? This is actually
Look how calm and peaceful that is.
I know. I was actually thinking, it looks like there was an avalanche, but I think it's fog or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to be a bear nestled in a cave with an avalanche over it where nobody can contact me for the next 3 months until spring arrives. And,
Right.
And I'm just...
See, in my mind, what that scene would be is, A, the forest is on fire. B, there's lava pouring down the mountains. I'm in the middle. I got nowhere to go. That's just how this day is going.
Yeah. It's book launch day here in my household, not in Thurrott's. Well, actually, I guess it's everybody's household. The book is out, and hopefully you are reading it on Amazon, and hopefully it's the latest version because I uploaded a new copy this morning because Amazon locked me out for many days from not being able to do that. But apparently, once it's live, you can just edit the hell out of it.
Oh, nice.
Which makes no sense, but whatever. Because I could have just uploaded 156 pages of blank PDF and...
There's a reason I stopped doing Kindle books. I'll just leave it at that.
Anyway, so you can grab that now on Amazon, Leanpub, and all those other fashionable places. And physical version, like I said, for the past 75 days is going to be here tomorrow, hopefully. And hopefully that'll be shipping next week. And Todd Bishop, actually. Shout out to Todd Bishop, GeekWire. Did a wonderful review. He asked ahead of time, many weeks before it launched, if he could do a proper review of it. And I said, absolutely. Nice. And he did. Todd, if you don't know him, he's just a good guy. Like, I don't know how else to describe him.
Do you know my Todd Bishop story?
I do not.
Todd Bishop is the reason that Mary Jo and I are friends.
And Mary Jo is the reason that we're friends.
Yeah. So it's maybe more apropos than you know that you were able to provide him with a pre-release look at this book. So,
yeah. And so you can go find that on GeekWire. I tweeted it out. It's a good look at the book, like from somebody who knows the story very well. And I knew it was going to be a positive review when he sent me a screenshot and he said, "This is when you got me hooked." And then he said, "I just read the rest of it straight through." I think he read it in about 2 days. But,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I've got a couple posts coming for Thurrott once our site stops sucking because it's.
I swear to God, you pinged him, I guess, earlier than I did. I got up, I pinged him immediately. Something's wrong. I just decided to head this one off at the pass because you know how this is going to go on the site. So I was like, I put up a forum post. I'm like, guys, there's a performance problem on the site. We're on it. We're going to try to fix it as quick as possible. There's no need to comment. And then, needless to say, someone comments like immediately, and it's like, guys, come on,
Yeah, for those who haven't gone to the site today, it works and it's up and running. It's just really sluggish right now.
Oh, so it's like Surface Go. Bam. Sorry.
Wow. How long have you been sitting on that one?
You know what one I was sitting on for a long time? I wanted to use this in a reply to you on Twitter, and I never found the right moment. And then finally I just posted it apropos of nothing, and I'm sure people were curious what it even meant, but it was you put the ass in SaaS, like software as a service.
I got it. For those keeping score at home, the Surface Go is just fine. Its performance is right in line with its size. Actually, I think I'm getting a Surface LTE.
Its performance is right in line with its size.
Is that not good?
That's your defense of the Surface
It's not a defense.
It's this big.
Look, if you're paying $399 for a tablet and you're expecting an i9 performance, I got some news for you. If you're looking for something that you can chuck on the couch or at the kid when they're not behaving appropriately, Surface Go's a good thing.
All right.
This is where Paul and I just sit and we're going to have to agree to disagree or something. But anyway, so if you have started reading the book, you will learn that Intel has thrown a wrench once or a dozen times into Microsoft's plans. And what the hell are they doing today?
Intel?
Yeah.
They just released I got to bring this up because their language is so ridiculous. Intel has released the first versions of what it calls, where is this? Oh, God, they're so stupid. Windows Modern Drivers, which is their attempt to meet the needs of what Microsoft calls the Universal Windows Drivers platform. which is a new way to do drivers in Windows 10 and newer. Also Windows Server 2009 and newer. I guess they announced it at Build. I don't recall this, but I guess they did. And the important tidbit here is that they are required for Windows 10 1809 or later. That's why they're out. Now, I don't remember where I mentioned this. I know I might have mentioned it on this podcast. I might have mentioned it on other podcasts, but if not, I'm using an Intel or an HP and all-in-one PC. It's awesome. It's got a 4K display. One of the unique things about this, which I hope to take advantage of in the future, is that you can actually lift the display out of the base, put it on a new base, and just use it as a standalone monitor. So it's like a modular kind of system as well, which is really neat. I love this thing, but I've been having this problem where the screen goes full static. And by static, I mean the whole entire screen. It looks like confetti, like televisions used to look at 3 o'clock in the morning, when we only had 3 stations back in the 1980s or whatever, when they used to sign off. It happens when I'm using it at least once a day. Actually, I'd say once a day is how often it happens. Many times I'll get up in the morning and, you kind of hit a key on the keyboard to wake the thing up, and it comes on to that. Because this monitor can be used both for the internal PC and from an external PC, thanks to the HDMI connections in the back, you can actually change the inputs on it. And so what I've discovered is that if I change the input from the internal, from the computer to the external, and then let it go to sleep because there's nothing attached to it, and then switch it back, it will come back and it's fine. That process I just described is incredibly ponderous because you have to use those tiny buttons on the bottom of the thing and navigate the on-screen menu, whatever. It's terrible. I hate it. Anyway, I'm really hoping that the problem is I've been running 1809, which I have been doing on this PC since, I don't know, July, August, with, the Intel's up-to-date drivers at the time, which were not this universal Windows driver platform type driver. So after we're done with this podcast, I'm going to go download those drivers and see if it fixes anything.
That was a really long story to get to what Intel's doing with their drivers, and hopefully how
Intel released new drivers. Normally, I don't think this would normally be would warrant a news story, but in this case, it's relevant because of the Microsoft angle and the requirement for 1809, and that there's some kind of a difference. And we'll see how this goes, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I know that very few people will care about what I'm about to say, but I found it super interesting. Amazon is at their having their re:Invent conference in where Las Vegas. Yeah, they call it re:Invent.
re:Invent.
Yeah. And anyway, so they announced that. So Paul, you may remember that Amazon made a pretty big deal about cloud computing. They might have pioneered some of that stuff, and they said all you ever need is the cloud. All you ever need. Well, Amazon is now venturing into the world of hybrid IT, and they're actually going to start shipping servers to data centers, and they're calling them outposts.
Yeah, not Azure Stacks.
So funny enough that you bring this up, Paul. So I wrote this whole thing up about how I thought it was pretty interesting that Amazon is now going to ship servers to your data center that you can install and get the same benefits of the AWS, use their APIs. And so Microsoft emailed me and said, hey, do you have any thoughts on Azure Stack? And that was it. It was like a 1-sentence thing from their PR people. And I responded, said, yeah, I said, they've got it. And then here's Amazon's response that people might actually use.
Yeah. You know how Amazon could differentiate their offering, though, right? The server box. That's right. What it should look like is an Amazon box, like one of those cardboard boxes you get with the Amazon tape on it, but it says like a couple of server lights on the front. It'd be a fun little smile on it,
I think they should put Alexa in there. Oh, no. Stop.
These voice assistants have ruined everything. You know? Can't even talk in our own houses anymore.
Nope.
You've had this experience, I'm sure. I'll be in my kitchen talking to my wife or my kid or some people or whatever it is. And then randomly at some point, one of the speakers will blip. I'm sorry, Paul. I don't know. Blip, blip, blip. And I'm like, it's like, stop. I'm not talking to you. But it thinks something I said was similar to the wake up phrase or something, I guess. And then they listened and what I said next didn't make any sense. And now I'm a suspect in a murder case or whatever it is. Like, it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah. So that is what I'm waiting to see, and I don't know if the conference is still going on. Do you remember it was like last? I think it was 2 years ago. Amazon announced a like chat app service.
Yeah,
And we
right.
were
And this was going to take on, I almost
Office.
said Link, Skype for Business. You mean like it was a
Yeah,
business oriented? Yeah,
and I keep meaning to look back into that because I don't think they've announced anything or done anything with that. I wonder. My gut tells me is that they built this thing internally to use as a tool, and someone said, "Hey, let's see if we can sell it." And
yeah.
it probably
So
never caught on.
I would speculate in a slightly different direction because where Amazon is in the cloud, what they need to do is preempt anyone going to Microsoft, right? And so
Yeah.
if you can at least promise that you're going to deliver something that's not currently in the Amazon stack but is on the Microsoft side, it might prevent some customers from leaving. You know, and maybe the point of it was like, oh, we're hearing from a bunch of customers they need this kind of thing. We should say we're doing it. And then it's like, Bob, do you think you could throw one of these things together in the next 3 months? He's like, yeah, sure. And then 2 years later, they're still working on it because they actually had no plans to ever do this.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got that going on. I don't know what I've got like a million things to do today. Just a couple.
Yeah, I'm going to be out of the house for a couple hours early in the afternoon.
Of course you will.
Yeah. Well, when there's a fire in the house, it makes sense not to be near the house. I don't mean literally a fire. I'm referring more to the website, I guess.
Speaking of literally a fire, I need to see if my neighbor will do this. So my neighbor's house literally got on fire.
Yep.
And they took a Surface Pro 5 or something like that. And they just returned it because they went to Costco.
Did they use it to put out the fire?
No, they used the Surface Goes to put out the fire. And so they returned it. And what I found, what she told me, the wife, was that they went to Costco and just bought a Surface Pro 6. And I was like, well, you could have just kept this.
Sure.
It's great, but I mean, your house literally caught on fire. Spend your money on something else.
Yeah.
What I want to do is see if she'll write like a review.
Oh, like a normal person review.
Yeah, because I mean, she's a mother, 2 kids.
Yep.
Their house caught on fire. I
like it.
Yeah,
I had my wife do that for one thing. Was it Microsoft Band? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was the band.
Yeah, I'm finally using the Huawei thing. I don't know if I can get it to turn on, but this thing is okay. But seriously, there it is.
See, I feel like Huawei, if they don't have GPS included, the name is deceiving. Because it's Huawei. Which way you go? I'm going Huawei.
That's incredible. I think it does have GPS, Brad. But
does it? Well, then it's justified.
Let me see. Why am I looking on this thing? I don't know.
This has been a real special episode.
GPS. There's a lot of that today.
It's
Yeah, they have their own goofy app, but it does integrate with Google Fit, which makes it okay. Yeah, I don't know why I'm looking at this thing. I don't know. Morning walk today.
Let's go to the big screen while we can just stare at you looking at your wrist.
Yeah. So it's no, I'm just seeing if it's any different. I mean, when you use Google Fit, for example, I'll just hold up the screen. You probably can't see that, but okay. You can't see it, but we almost are. It gives you kind of whatever. It gives you a rough map of a walk or a workout or whatever.
So it does give you kind of direct. So then
but this is see the phone always did this. So what this is it's like straight lines. It doesn't actually show you the path. If it was using GPS, for the duration, I think you would see the path, like a better version of the path. Plus, I'm just getting this from my phone for all I know. This Google Fit was already doing this. You know what I mean? So I don't know that this is related. And sometimes the lines are all screwed up because it checks at a weird time and it can't figure out where you were. I'll look into that. Obviously I'm wearing this thing so I can review it. So I need to check.
You need to figure out your life. Is that what you're?
No, hold on here. Right on the back. Built-in GPS verified. So I'll have to see how that manifests into accurate data or not. This is only the second day I've worn it, so
okay.
I don't have a lot to work on yet.
Yeah, I don't know. The only other thing that's dwindling on my mind right now is I bought those 2 Hue lights to replace my outdoor lights, and I set the timer on my phone because that was going to be a better timer than the wall timer that I have that is not working, and it's not working. I'm perplexed by this. Like, it's supposed to turn on at 6 p.m. and off at 8 a.m.
Right.
And it's doing neither.
I'm sorry. I took my Hue lights out of the box today. I have not actually put them into a socket of any kind. Unfortunately, like I said, it's just kind of an what do you call it, like an Eve thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard to get your hand in there because it's kind of a tight space. I'll probably cut myself up doing that. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Did you get the floodlights?
No, and it's funny, we just got the normal lights. And so after the fact, I was just kind of looking around on the web somewhere. I don't remember the reason, but I saw that they had floodlights. And I said to my wife, I said, shouldn't we get floodlights? Why don't we get floodlights? And she said, we can't. If you go out there and look at them, they're actually just normal light bulbs. So, I think I've documented many of the stupid crap that goes on in this house, mostly from my father. That's one of the things he did. He put normal lights out there instead of, he's like, we need outdoor lights, but we're not going to put outdoor lights. We're going to put inside lights. And it will be okay because they're like under the eaves and they probably won't get wet. And okay, yeah, maybe it is okay. I don't know. But we'll see. I don't know, because Philips Hue lights are pretty small, and it's possible that what I will have is 4 really dim colored lights that don't actually illuminate anything. And if that's the case, we will just use that for Christmas, and then I'll move them inside and just use them in lamps.
Yeah. Kumbaya. Kumbaya. All right. I'm gonna go triage more email.
Okay.
Maybe
good luck.
See if you got anything else for today?
No, the only thing that I could possibly get done today is the MacBook Air review. Actually, the review's done. I just have to finish the battery life test, which is really ponderous because even though iTunes has like a repeat function for video, so you can do just stream the same thing over and over again, it doesn't actually work. So at least with purchase movies. So I'm leaving the house, like I said. So I have to time it so that I can, so get a long movie going and get back. I have to manually restart the movie to make sure it, it's like 1979 in here, Brad. I don't know what's going on, but.
Well, at least we got the looming fuel crisis and everything else going on.
Yeah, and if everything falls apart, I can burn this thing and use that for fuel. That'll be good.
Yeah. If it was 1979, it'd be a great time to buy a Honda Accord because those models were bulletproof.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
All right, everybody. That wraps it up for today. Here's a Snowy Mountain thing. The book is now up. You can go to beneaththesurface.com, find all that good stuff, or not. Do whatever you got to do. Have yourselves a good day.